Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And some subscribers have made me aware of the fact that Cali Muscle, aka Chuck Basher, aka the Booty Warrior, has made a video talking about how squats and deadlifts are ego exercises, they're unnecessary, and everything else. Let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing. Work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Because he did talk a little bit about when he was in the penitentiary, and it went something like this. Yo, listen up, young blood. When I was in the penitentiary, we didn't have access to no place. It was hard to train legs. It's hard to train legs. And sometimes, in order to get a leg workout, you had to have your cellmate climb up on top of your back and do squats. And then if you needed to do high reps pumping. You need to get pumping. Sometimes you have to squat down on top of another man. Now, this might be young blood. Now you might be judging, but you got to remember, when we're in the penitentiary, it's nothing but other men's. And we got needs, and there ain't no women around. So somebody gonna have to give up some booty. It's just as simple as that. Right? It went something like that, right? All right, maybe not that second part. But, you guys knew I was going to go there when it comes to Cali. He always tells these penitentiary stories, and we know it was Chuck Basher. Also, don't Google that. Don't Google that. Trust me on it if you don't want to see it. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. If you follow Cali Muscle, you probably do want to see it. But that being said, I thought it was interesting. He started talking about ego lifts and everything else. And it was kind of funny because he gave a little brief, and this is in his newest leg training video, he gave a little brief aside saying he doesn't bodybuild anymore because bodybuilding is nothing about, is only trying to impress other men that you look good. But yet all he does is bodybuilding. He doesn't really do anything else. And that is what he's about. He's still about impressing other men. But he did have a good point there, because that is what bodybuilding is. Women don't care about it. It's just trying to impress other men that you look good. And I agree with that. I mean, if you can make a living at it, more power to you, though. But that being said, he went in on squats and deadlifts, talking about they're just ego lifts and unnecessary. But he also talked about the fact that, years ago, people used to tell him his upper body was disproportionate. He didn't have legs. And he's trying to tell guys how to get big legs, but he's still disproportionate. Even though Cali's smaller, he's come off a lot of the gear, he's shrunk down. He doesn't really have big legs. His legs are small, still in proportion to his upper body. He never actually learned how to train his legs. And, and he's standing there saying that he's trying to tell guys he doesn't want them to get beat up and busted up. He's trying to save people from getting hurt, but then he's doing leg extensions and then saying squats and deadlifts are bad. Guys, I'm in my 40s. I squat and deadlift heavy all the time. And I mean all the time. It's not a once-a-week thing for me. I'm in my 40s. I'm sitting here wanting to get stronger, still getting later into my 40s, right? And there's lots of people out there who are very strong on their squats and deadlifts in their 40s, 50s, 60s. These are not dangerous exercises. They don't beat you up. In fact, as you get older, these are the exercises that will maintain your body. They'll maintain your back, your knees, your hips. All this stuff that gives out as we get older. These are the exercises that offer the most protection, right? If you can learn to do them correctly, they offer the most protection to these things. Again, you're getting adaptive stress on your back. That's what preserves bone minerals. That's what preserves bone density in your back, is actually loading it up with a weight. And it needs to be a weight you can handle. I'm not telling guys to get pinned under a squat and to be doing true 1-rep maxes all the time where you take 7 seconds to grind it out, and you get folded over like a taco if you fail. That's not what we're saying. But squatting and deadlifting heavy preserves your back. You notice people get shorter as they age. A lot of that has to do with loss of bone density, loss of bone minerals. The only way to stave that off is to get under a moderately heavy to fairly heavy weight regularly and get a training effect there. That's how you preserve that. It will save you inches of height as you get older. In fact, Jack LaLanne used to credit the deadlift with preserving his back. When people talk to him about this in his 80s, he used to say that the deadlift is what helped him maintain a healthy back into his old age. Right? And I don't remember, was he 92 or was he 94 when he died? He died because he swam the English Channel. I think he got pneumonia. Oh, he died at 94. That's right, guys. But at 92, to celebrate his 92nd birthday, the guy swam the English Channel. At 92. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. I mean, that is the anecdote of someone we have who maintained a high degree of fitness into an extreme old age. That's the one example we have. It's the best example we have. And granted, we could say, well, that might be anecdote. Yeah, but it's the one person we have. And he credited the deadlift with maintaining his back health into his old age. I mean, you need to understand how amazing that is for a human being in their 90s to swim the English Channel. I can't even comprehend that. Yet he did it, and he loved the deadlift. He believed the deadlift helped preserve his body. And you start looking at all the data we have, we know that people who resistance train with big exercises like that, they don't get the same hip problems. They don't get all the hip fractures. They don't get all the osteoporosis and osteoarthritis in their hips that just destroys all of our parents and grandparents. You know, you guys look at the older people in your family, their hips break all the time. That prevents that. And we know that people who have strong legs, and you get stronger legs by doing squats than you will from leg extensions. We know that people who have strong legs, it's heavily correlated once you get into your 60s with better memory, better cognition, lower rates of dementia, Alzheimer's. So what in the hell is he talking about? And then he recommends leg extensions. Leg extensions actually damage your knees. That's one of the exercises out there that causes wear and tear on your knees. That puts shear stress on your knee joint. Unnecessary shear stress. More shear stress than a properly performed squat could ever put on your knees. So, I mean, if we're talking about preserving our body, what you need to be avoiding is leg extensions, which he's promoting. You need to be avoiding half squats. You need to be avoiding squats with wraps. If you were to ask me which things cause the most damage to your knees just from a physiological level, those three exercise variations. Because the barbell squat doesn't. It's the half squats that do it with the weight that's too heavy. Half squats. Squats with knee wraps. Squats with knee wraps. That leads to knee damage. Damages the patella, causes scar tissue on the backside of the patella, can cause hamstring tears. I've seen a lot of guys tear hamstrings with knee wraps. That you don't see hamstring tears otherwise on the squat, do you? Then half squats right behind it, and then right up there, leg extensions. Leg extensions put shear stress on the knee, and they don't even build that much. I mean, look at all these guys who don't really have legs, who are bodybuilders on YouTube who just praise the leg extension. Cali Muscle, Jerry Ward. Neither one of them have big legs. They both actually have fairly small legs in proportion to their body, right? In proportion to their upper body. They both praise the leg extension and eschew the squat. Think that's coincidence? You think that's coincidence? Yet we see people who are serious squatters, oftentimes who do nothing but the squat, serious athletes, who have enormous legs, don't we? A lot of them out there. A lot of them out there. And why do you think that is? Because the squat's a better all-around exercise. It's a better all-around exercise, and done correctly, it preserves your body. It preserves your body. And then you got guys like Cali, you know, who ultimately, the only thing Cali knows how to do is use a bunch of drugs and a bunch of fluff and pump. Everyone who follows him thinks because he's big and he's jacked that he must know what he's doing in the gym. It's like, guys, this is 20 plus years of anabolic use. 20 plus years of anabolic use. That's why he doesn't really know what he's doing. And before guys jump up and say that, they're going to be like, Jason, isn't that YouTube? No, guys, that's not. I don't even have 20 years of uninterrupted training, and I certainly don't have 20 years of anabolic abuse. That's a figure that people say about me. They throw out there. It's not actually based on reality. Not based on reality. And in fact, I had to take 4 years off from training completely in my early 30s, and I spent pretty much a year in bed sick and had to rebuild. But no, absolutely do not have decades of anabolic abuse. I don't even have decades of uninterrupted training. And no, I'm not blasting gear these days. I haven't in a long time. It's been a long time, guys. But that's the point with Cali. You can see all that synthol now, all the side injections. You can see it now that he's shrunk down. You can see it in his delts. You can see it in his biceps. He's got a lot of side enhancement. Used a lot of gear. What he doesn't have is legs. And it's because he never really trained them. And then he's going to tell guys how to train them and then have them avoid the exercises that will produce the most good for you staying fit and healthy and maintaining and not destroying your body as you age. You know, that's the ironic part. And it's just downright scary. He's not helping anybody. You know, he claims that that's what he's trying to do, that he's trying to help people not destroy their bodies as they get older, but he's telling them to avoid the very exercises that work best if done correctly to preserve your body, your fitness, your health, your joints, your bones as you get older. Big, heavy exercises that load your entire structure are what preserve bone density. That's what staves off osteoporosis. That's what will keep you strong and fit as you get old, guys. If anything, if people were to say, well, what if you could only do 1 or 2 exercises for someone who's older to preserve, it would be the squat and the deadlift. Yes, they can be ego lifts. Yes, the deadlift, you know, he talked about that. The deadlift is an ego lift. Guys only care about what they can lift. Well, yeah, it's in 3 different strength sports. 3 different strength sports, the deadlift is a competitive exercise. So yeah, it's going to have that around it. Yes, it's an exercise you can lift a lot of weight on. Yeah, that in some ways can make it an ego lift for that purpose, but that doesn't mean it's also not a fantastic exercise just because it is a contested lift in 3 strength sports, right? It doesn't mean it's not a good exercise or that it's only for your ego. That is an exercise that will build your whole body up, not just your muscles. Not just your muscles. It will build your bone structure. It will build bone density. It will preserve bone density. That exercise done correctly will help you maintain your body for life. An exercise you shouldn't be doing is the damn leg extension. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.